How you doing? Coach Rod, EM Speed and Power. Today we're going to be demonstrating our dynamic warm-up. To help us today is Ashley Carter, Cal State Fullerton softball player. She's going to give you guys the perfect example of our dynamic warm-up. Right. First stretch of our dynamic warm-up, we're going to go knee hugs. We're going to put our knee up to our chest, come up on our toe, make sure we're flexing our calf. Right? When we're doing our knee hugs, what we're working on is stretching out our glutes, our lower back, and then we're activating that calf by coming up on our toe. The second movement of our dynamic warm-up is we go ankle and knee. So you want to grab your ankle, your knee, you want to pull it up, trying to get your heel to your hip, again coming up on your toe, flexing your calf. Now we're working, again, your glute, but in the outer portion of your hip. The next stretch of our dynamic warm-up, we're going to go what we call duck walks. So we're going to reach down, make sure your toes coming up towards your chin, trying to get down with both hands. Now you want to make sure that you hinge with your hips and don't just reach down with your arms. You're trying to set your butt back so you get a good stretch of your hamstring and your calf. Okay. The next stretch is quad and reach. So you want to try to bring your heel to your butt, reach up, trying to touch the ceiling, coming up on your calf or coming up on your toe, flexing your calf. Okay. The idea there is we want to get the heel to our butt so we can stretch out our quad. We want to reach up as high as we can so we can start to open up our hip flexion. Next stretch, we start to go through our lunge matrix. Okay? And the idea there is we want to start to warm up again our hip flexors and start to work on our quads. What we like to do is start with movements that are less like your sprint and kind of progress to those so that we're ready to run when we get there. All right, so the first one is going to be our forward lunge. You want to step out, make sure your heel is directly under your knee, sink your hips down, and again going opposite arm, opposite leg, just like the running mechanic. So we step out, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay. The next movement in our lunge mechanics is reverse lunge. So it's the same idea now, but we're stepping back, working on opening up our stride a little bit, sinking our hips down. Again, trying to get your hips down, make sure your knee is over your heel. The next move in our lunge matrix is we're going to work a lateral lunge. Okay, now because we're working lateral, we're going to do this both ways. But what we want to get is we want to step out to the side. We're going to sink your butt back, make sure your toes are pointing straight ahead. Switch sides, sink back the other way. Again, make sure both toes are facing straight ahead. We'll get 2 shuffles in between, then back out to our lunge. Next move is going to be what we call a crossover lunge. Okay, again, we're trying to keep our body and our upper body at least facing straight ahead. We're stepping across our knee. We want to sink down to lower our hips. Step out, and we're only working that trail leg, stepping across. Okay, so again, we'll have to do this both ways to make sure we get both legs. The move we have is our high knee karaoke. What we're starting to work on is getting our knees driving our knees up, working a lateral knee drive. So we want a big arm swing, big knee drive, make sure that toe's pointing straight ahead. Again, because it's a lateral movement, we want to make sure we go both ways so we can work both legs. Okay? After that, we want to try to transition into more running mechanics now. So we're going to start to work on our knee drive and our foot placement. So we want to make sure we have our toes up. We're going A skip. Okay, so when you start, drive your knee up, make sure your toe is pointing straight ahead. So your knee's at hip height, your toes pointing straight ahead. Did you get that? Okay. After that, we start to go through our B series, and we're looking at fast ground contact. So we want to make sure that we're on the balls of our feet. So before you start, you want to pull your toes up to the top of your shoes, stand on the balls of your feet. We're going quick strides, just stepping over our ankle. Okay? You want to make sure that your arm action matches your knee drive. So we want to have fast knees, fast arms. The next phase of that is we go what we call the abbreviated B. So now we're basically stepping over our calf. Everything remains the same. Our toes are still up. We're still on the balls of our feet. We want to make sure we clear our calf and kind of cycle our foot through that motion. The last one of our B series is we're going to take it all the way up now. So we're going over our knees, right? Everything, again, remaining the same. Staying on the balls of our feet, keeping our toes up. But we want to make sure we drive our knee up so that our foot clears our opposite knee. So we want to get all the way up. We're thinking a big cycle here, so we want a big arm swing to kind of match it, okay? After we get there, now we want to start to work on body positioning in our sprint. So we'll go falling start. Okay, so we're going to make sure we get up on our toes, get our body as long as we can. We want to fall forward until you feel like you have to step out. At that point, we want to drive our knee, sprint all the way down. All right. The last thing in our dynamic warm-up is we're actually going to work on our sprints. Okay, so depending on what sport you play or what position it is, we're going to go either 2-point start, or if you play a different sport, we may go positional. Okay, with our 2-point start, we want to make sure that we get to the balls of our feet. So we set ourselves up, one foot is back, whichever one you choose. We'll go opposite arm, opposite leg. The coach will give you a ready. You want to start to lean forward. Then on the go, you're going to drive out. Okay, and now that completes our dynamic warm-up. So what we've done is we got the body prepared to move, right? So we go through our movement preparation. We've stretched out, We started to work on our running mechanics, so now we know how to strike the ground with our feet, we know how to swing our arms, and we've progressed to a sprint. By this time, you should be pretty warm. If you don't have a good sweat going, you weren't working hard enough, right? For more information on the Dynamic Warmup or EM Speed and Power, you can find us on studentsports.com or emspeedtraining.com. Thanks.